Welcome to another Masters Academy Parent Podcast. Today's topic is developing a plan for adding the arts to your homeschool. In this session, we'll be discussing personal assessment and time management, choosing a teaching method, and deciding how best to use the Arts Through the Ages curriculum in your homeschool. One of the foundation stones of all of the Masters Academy programs is freedom. Our desire is to give you, the parents, the ability to use our curriculum based on your needs, not to give you a curriculum and tell you that you need it. It's all about finding the path that works best for your family. However, this freedom comes with a lot of responsibility. Not everyone will be willing to rise to the challenges inherent in a program that encourages freedom. As Americans, we're increasingly being taught to rely on others to do our work for us, and we have consequently sacrificed our freedoms in the name of convenience and standardization. As a result, we've become irresponsible and have walked away from total reliance on God to lead and guide us. In order to use the Arts Through the Ages program, you must be willing to throw off old thought processes and embrace a new way of looking at things. Is it an easy way to live? Nope. Is it an easy way to teach? Definitely not. But the rewards far surpass the sacrifices that are made. Just because we were never taught to think this way in school doesn't mean it's wrong. And just because the world doesn't often do it this way doesn't make them right. This is not a one-size-fits-all curriculum in a box type of program. Rather, it's more like a choose-your-own-adventure approach to learning. Much the way a good cook modifies a recipe or a seamstress modifies a pattern to fit her needs, so the use of this product allows you the opportunities to combine bits and pieces of our curriculum and intersperse it with what you're already doing at home. Or you can make this the basis of your curriculum, and you can add outside pieces as needed. We provide many paths for you to take, but putting the path together is up to each parent. Although the process of combining pieces and putting them together may seem difficult at first, forge ahead and keep God as your ultimate guide and end. Since God is a God of order and not disorder, He'll direct your steps and put your feet on the firm path that He's designed for you since before the foundations of the earth. Fear not, and rely on the Lord for your direction, and He will give it to you. So, let's start the process. Before we do anything else, we must start with a little strategic planning. First, you have to learn to see yourself, the homeschool parent, as the CEO of your home and your school. This means that you need to define your critical success factors and then work at them. What are the 5 to 7 things you have to do well in this job in order to succeed? Once you know the things that will define success for you, then it's time to make a plan to accomplish that task. The first step in that process is to take a hard look at everything you're doing and ask if it's getting you closer to accomplishing your success factors or if it's taking time away from them. So for instance, if one of your success factors is to spend time as a family doing Bible study and scripture memorization, but there's no time for that because the kids are in ballet, softball, soccer, and a co-op, then you have to reassess each of those activities and prioritize. Time's no different than money. There's never enough, and we must always make choices and use the resources given to us to the best of our ability. For a shocking experience, write down everything you do for a week. Then plot it out and see how much time you realistically need to accomplish everything you do, such as cooking, cleaning, chauffeuring, church responsibilities, teaching, and the like. Once you have that in mind, then you can adjust your time budget to make it fall in line with your success factors. Some things just have to go if you're going to reach your goal. Other things may be missing that you need to add into your schedule. The most important thing to remember is to be realistic. You still need to take time to take a shower and have a date night from time to time, and time to do things just for yourself. Now that you have your success factors and your time budget figured out, now's the time to set aside a day or weekend away with your spouse to pray for your family goals for that year. This is the time to come to agreement on the spiritual goals you have for your family as a whole and each child individually, the educational goals for each child, and your household and family goals. So here's a list of some questions you can pray about and ponder together. What areas of spiritual weakness do we see in each child that need to be strengthened? What are our family Bible study goals? What are our scripture memory goals? What ministries will we be involved in as a family this year? What outside activities will we be involved in? What are our family goals for the year? And what are our educational goals for each child? Now that you have some goals, you know how much time you have to spend and you know what you want to accomplish. Now comes the time of trying to assess which type of teaching method is going to work best for your family. Are you a Bob Jones or a Becca kind of family? This means that you like to have everything pre-planned for you so that you're sure you're not leaving out anything. You also like the convenience of having video classes already done for you and worksheets prepared for your children in advance. Or maybe you're a Konos family. This means that you love unit studies and building character qualities into the lives of your children. You don't mind making a mess on a daily basis, you love field trips, and you enjoy the freedom of changing your mind and picking units of interest to you on the spur of the moment. Or maybe you're a classical conversations family. This means you enjoy having someone else mentor you and show you how to teach. You enjoy getting together with other families once or twice a week to study, and you enjoy the classical system of education. Or maybe you're an unschooler, a person who goes with the flow and follows the direction of their children's interests, filling in the gaps as you go. Each of these kinds of curriculum have their benefits, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with any of them. It's just a matter of what works best for you and your children. Just keep a couple of things in mind if you haven't already decided what kind of a teaching method you prefer. If your children are doing school, but they're not really learning, then does it count? I mean, you can check things off your list, but if the goal is long-term growth and retention and that's just not happening, then maybe you need to rethink your choices. Or maybe your kids hate school and they want to go back to public school. Now's the time to reassess why that might be. Are they social creatures who miss having lots of friends around? Or are they creative children who need to do things differently and they're currently just doing workbooks and videos? If so, it may be that you need to rethink your strategy. Or maybe they've lost interest in learning altogether. Maybe it's time to start looking at what they're most interested in and then directing their study accordingly. At any rate, using the Arts Through the Ages curriculum is doable no matter what type of a teaching format you use. If you're using a program like Bob Jones or Rebecca, simply select lesson plans that tie into your history topics. For instance, if you're studying westward expansion, select topics from the Romantic time period to add to your academic classes. You can do one lesson a week, one lesson a day, or one lesson a month. It's totally up to you. If you're doing a unit study program like Konos, simply pick related topics. If your unit is on the Reformation, look under the medieval Renaissance time period for lots of topics that will coordinate nicely. If you're doing classical conversations or another co-op type program, simply choose units that go with what you're currently studying. If you'd like to use the Arts Through the Ages as your core curriculum, then please check out the next podcast, Using the Arts Through the Ages as Your Core Curriculum.